This segment demonstrates how to assemble your new 85-pound Agri-Fab push broadcast spreader. Begin by turning the hopper, part T, upside down. Then slide in the flow plate, part H, as shown. Next, insert the end of the control cable, part R, into the flow plate. Then snap the cable guide in place. Next, align the axle, part X, with the frame, part S, and gearbox assembly, part W. Ensure it's aligned as shown. Then secure the gearbox assembly with a 1 1/2 inch cotter pin, part L. Next, slide 2 flange bearings, part I, onto the axle and press them into the frame. Then press 2 1-inch plugs, part J, into the frame. Now, assemble 2 1/4-inch by 1 1/2 inch hex bolts, part C, and 2 small washers, part E. Then align the hopper, part T. Next, insert the bolt assemblies down through the hopper and the frame assembly. Fully secure it with 2 1/4-inch nylock hex nuts, part F. Now assemble the hairpin agitator, part O, to the impeller shaft. Next, align the stand tube, part P, and secure it with 2 1/4-inch by 1 1/2 inch hex bolts, part C, and 2 1/4-inch nylock nuts, part F. Then press in a 1-inch plug, part J. Now on the left side of the axle, slide on a large washer, part D, followed by a plastic spacer, part K. Next, slide on a wheel, part Q, with the valve stem facing out. Then insert a 5/32 by 2-inch cotter pin, part M, through the axle and the wheel, and bend the ends out to secure it. Then, on the other side of the axle, slide on a large washer, part D. Now slide on a plastic spacer, part K. Then slide on a wheel, part Q. Next, slide on a large washer, part D. Next, insert a 3/32 by 3/4-inch cotter pin, part N, and bend the ends open to secure the wheel. Now align the lower handle tube, part U, and fully secure it with 2 1/4 by 1 1/2 inch bolts, part C, and 2 1/4-inch nylock nuts, part F. Next, align the handle tube, part V, and fully secure it with 1 1/4 by 1 1/2 inch bolt, part C, and 1 1/4-inch nylock nut, part F. Then align the short handle tube, part Y, and secure it with a 1/4-inch by 1 1/2 inch hex bolt, part C, and a 1/4-inch nylock nut, part F. Now align the flow control handle, part R, and secure it with a 1/4-inch by 2 1/2 inch carriage bolt, part B, and a 1/4-inch nylon wing nut, part G. Do not over-tighten. Then slide on a handle grip, part Z, onto each side of the handle.